it's going to be How's It Hanging, How's It Happen? You guys know what it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. The podcast on Song Magazine describes as the one that initiates profound discussions with rock and metal artists, allowing fans to cover the creative workflow of the three musicians and understand the factors that make the band succeed or fall from fame. We are all sponsored by Dark Fusion Systems, the best for your custom computing needs. Get $100 off your entire bill. Go to CPPod at darkfusionsystems.com. Link to the podcast below. Go to millionpodcast.com. They rank the top 100 metal music podcasts out there right now. The Chord Progression Podcast is ranked at number 14. Yeah, and we're going to keep going up till we get to number 1, baby. Oh, yeah. So let's have some fun. Now to go to feature presentation. This band's been on the podcast one time already with their album Freaks coming out on March 22nd of 2024. Metalcore, mixing heavy riffs, powerful screams with infectious grooves, playful rhythms, and futuristic soundscapes. Oh, you know who it is. We've got Bastian and Phillipp from the band AVRALIZE back in the podcast today. The brand new album Liminal comes out on November 14th. Not only do we talk about the growth of AVRALIZE's sound, how groove is at the core of what they are doing, but just how much fun they're having with this and how strong it comes out with such an eclectic sound, along with just being one of the most fun records I've listened to in 2025. Oh yeah, you ready? Let's go! Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. Early last year, so early in 2024, I had the pleasure of bringing these guys onto the podcast after getting a fantastic email that said, hey, check out this band from Germany. They're doing something different with their metalcore sound, being a lot more experimental with the electronics. And I thought, you know what? We got to listen to it. Their album last year, Freaks, was incredible, gained over 5 million Spotify streams, and the band has continued to grow. If you've been a consistent listener on this podcast, when we ask, name 3 bands or artists you know that you want to see more people get into, this band is a consistent suggestion throughout that time frame. And now, as we're ready to close out 2025, their second album, Liminal, is going to drop on November 14th. They're going to support it with a headlining run throughout Germany with Accused, Villanova, and Throat Cut. And let me tell you, this album, it's all over the place. It's experimental in the best way possible. Wow, look at me already messing up my words. Enough with me. Please welcome Phillipp and Bastian from AVRALIZE back to the podcast. So, gentlemen, welcome back.
Hello. What's up, man?
What is going on, guys? How are you guys doing? I mean, it's been for the band, for me, it's been almost, over a year and a half, but yeah, how are you guys doing right now?
We're goddamn busy, especially with all the preparations and stuff, but yeah, because it's almost like coming to an end with everything. Tour is like in 2.5 weeks. It feels really, really good that we are close to the end of.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. What? I was wondering what the hell happened.
We had to switch our PCs because nearby there are like doing stuff with excavators. I have no idea. We suddenly had no internet anymore, so we have given a hotspot with our smartphone to our laptop. So
okay, so well, I hope this works. I was just like, of course, out of all this kind of stuff that happens, this is happening today. I'm just like, oh my god, but
yeah.
But it is what it is.
We're so sorry, man.
I'll say, don't worry, it is what it is. It's not like we haven't had weird stuff happen like this in the past, so we get by with it and we deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, we found a way to hopefully go on.
We'll hopefully go on. We'll see what happens, and hopefully no excavators, mess us up through the rest of the recording of this episode.
Yeah, why the fuck are they like telling no one? Yeah, you might have some issues with your internet today. Okay.
They don't bother telling anyone. Well, maybe it's just because they haven't found out how great the new AVRALIZE record is, and they're like, you know what? We don't care if people don't know about it. If they would have listened to it like I did, they would have made sure that anything you guys were doing, they would say as far away as possible to make sure that anything you were doing to promote the album went through without issue.
Yeah, they don't care. Never mind.
Never mind, but we got you guys here. And honestly, I just want to jump right into this album because I still remember listening to Freaks for the first time. Definitely had a lot more of an experimental feel to it with that metalcore style. I mean, I think even looked on the website, you guys had like heavy riffs, powerful scream, infectious grooves, playful rhythms, futuristic soundscapes. You know, you put that all in there on the website as your description for the sound, and you listen to liminal, and it's like, yeah, that probably explains it perfectly.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we are really trying. When we, the good thing is when we like writing songs, we just write stuff that like hypes us up, and because we are all really like alive people, we are really how can you say that, lifeful? I don't know. The music like explains this really well, I guess, because we're just trying stuff out, and most of the time, if we're happy with it, we just leave it in the song. So yeah.
But at the same time, that's what you guys have done even on the last record too. That you guys have done pretty much throughout your career has been, if you find something you like and are jovial and full of life with it, put it in the record, see what happens. And the reason why I really took to Liminal more than maybe some of the other records so far this year is I do like the heavy stuff. I do like the stuff that's aggressive, but I have to be honest, I also like stuff that can go in a different direction. And for a majority of these songs, what I really enjoyed was the fact that the heaviness or the metalcore side of things was at times used as more of an accenting piece or more of a complementary piece to the other core that was a part of the song or the other lifeblood that was a part of the song, whether it was an infectious groove or some sort of bass-driven funk-inspired sound that had some tempo, that had some pace to it, that gave the song more of that uplifting, life-fulfilled feel compared to just being so heavy and aggressive straight through like many other artists in that metalcore space have been since, the past 10, 12 years?
Yeah.
I think a big part about this is that everybody comes from different kind of influences. So the different part in our songwriting is like to blend all these together to like have not just a cool song with different types of funny Easter eggs like this. It's like the different part is to blend all together well, so you have like really good listenable song. And I think that was the goal to approach for the whole new album. So like every song is just crazy in a way, but also listenable.
Yeah, I think like one big thing is like we all hate music that doesn't groove, because why the fuck do you want to listen to music where you can't bang your head to it, actually? And what really works insanely well, I'm really surprised by it also, is that we managed to arrange the songs in a not senseless way with kind of sometimes seemingly senseless parts for like a metalcore song. And I think it works really good when you don't think about it too much. Like, don't think about stuff when you writing a song. Yeah, it helps to have a concept what you want to do, but thinking about too much what you want to do is like, yeah, not a great approach for writing like crazy funky songs, I guess.
No, I agree with you, because if you were to go through and write these things with such a precision and such this focus on what music theory essentially states you should do, or with, especially from my standpoint as a listener, going through it with like a very, very, very focused approach of this has to flow specifically into this with this one specific way because this is how it all works out. If you take such this granular approach to the music, you're going to get something that might be very, very technically profound and very, very eclectic in terms of just the complexity that's behind the music. But it might not flow all together consistently when you listen to it with just, you're enjoying it. It's why a band like, I'll use Tool as an example. Yes, Tool has some great songs. There's some long songs there, but they're so technically focused that it's tough for me to potentially really jump in and listen to it in more of an enjoyable experience if I'm not so focused in on every little aspect of the music they put in there. With what you guys did, it seems like, I'm not saying you guys weren't technical on this. What I'm saying is you guys weren't so focused in on everything needing to be absolutely perfect to what something stated or what everything needed to be. You let the music flow, you let the sounds speak for themselves, and you let the groove of the song be the connecting piece between all these different sections of the songs, no matter which song it was on the album.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's really good all the time when we write songs because no one thinks like really egocentric about the songwriting. No one is ever like, no, I wanna like play hard stuff in the song because I want to show off anything because like the focus is always on the final result, and that's a really nice thing when we're writing songs together because there's like no one ever has the feeling to like push through an idea just for the sake of it or just to be involved. And I think that's the best way to get the best product. Just yeah, don't just focus on the product itself and not on what you feel. Yeah, of course, what you feel about it, but not in a egocentric way, I think.
That does make sense. Focus on what's going to make the product the best, not what's going to feed your ego and make you feel the best.
Yeah.
That could actually become the detriment of the song. We've seen that happen in music prior with many other, famous bands that somebody's ego got in the way because they didn't like the material. They didn't feel like the material was the way that they wanted it to. And the band either never released anything or the band broke up and we never got to see him again. And it was all based on someone's creativity being limited by their own scope of the world or their own scope of the sound that was being created. Being open to whatever is going to be able to happen on the record like this allows AVRALIZE to have that sound that is much more, I would not necessarily even well-rounded, much more well-diverse in terms of where you guys are able to go with this and how you're able to flow with every little bit of it. Like I said, I have not really heard a band, especially in the heavy music space, to use the heavy side as the accent or the complement to a groove that keeps consistently driving through these songs. But again, it's the groove that keeps the songs connected together as a whole. It's like the big giant shoelace of into the song to make sure that your foot's not going to fly out of there, but make sure you can go as far as you want as long as you're willing to go that far.
Yeah. Thank you so much for those kind words. Really appreciate it, man. I think we, compared to Freaks, we also had a much clearer vision what type of sound we want to have, like how the guitars are going to sound, how the drums are going to sound. We wanted like to chase them not much more raw sound, but want to sound more like a band, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So we got like more high pitched snare, more clanky guitars, like single coil was the way to go for this album. And I think that also really helped complement the songwriting because we already like right from the first song from Upside Down, we had the vision like we want to sound like this, and so it worked really well with the songwriting because it's kind of a unique sound. Helium, for example, has like if there was like a normal hardcore, deathcore, metalcore guitar tone on it, it like wouldn't sound as unique as it sounds now with kind of that weird scrubby clanky guitar tone. I think that's like also a really nice way to think about it, not only the songwriting but also like how will it sound in the final product.
I would have to agree with you on that. And using one of the singles to kind of bring that up, we'll use Medicine as a great example. Because if you were to use something that was a lot heavier and a lot more fine-tuned to what metalcore, deathcore, like a hardcore sound for the guitar tone would be, especially with the intro to Medicine sounding like you popped in you turned on a Sega Genesis, popped in Sonic the Hedgehog and started playing. That sound, especially kind of looking back in like 1991, 1992 video game tones, yeah, it's, it's computerized, but it's not perfect. It's not polished. It does have more of this raw human nature to it from a time where computers were not nearly as powerful as they are, 10 years later, even, anywhere close to today. So having something that would be so aggressively against that in terms of tone, the contrast could really stand out. Don't get me wrong. But on a song like that, for that contrast to really stand out, the groove that you guys create on that song would have been completely lost and created a jumbled mess. But the groove that you had with the guitar tone you went with, it amplified every bit of it so that everything sounded so congruently. Were there heavy parts in there? Yes, but they brought up that accent piece to really add more flavor to the song instead of being this absolute destructive core of heavy sounds that would have taken the song in multiple different directions without really any idea of where it was going.
Yeah, of course. The funny thing is that this song started like with the first demo was like a lot of gen, like turbo gen, whole song from the
I remember.
from the beginning to the end, like just genting. And after that, like demo 2, demo 3, demo 4, like after a few sessions, we just built in those little kind of funny parts or these imperfect parts, like the banjo or the intro, the piano intro with the funny 80s, 90s keys. And so like after a few sessions, this whole just type of turbo gent became much more like a funny, like imperfect, retro kind of song. That's just really funny how that went.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that seems
kind of naturally, actually. I don't think we were ever like, yeah, let's try to make it as unconventional as possible. It just like every part we remade, we were like hyping it up so much, so it felt really safe to write the song like how it is now.
I remember I sat in class and I came up in the head with like the riff like bum 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 bum, and I was like, oh, I have to record that, and I just like in my phone speaker bum bum bali bali bum. And after that we recorded it, and like a few sessions later, one of us came up with the idea like just put a banjo in it. I don't know, kind of fun. Because why not? And yeah,
we have the banjo right here. We recorded it with the SM7B mic, just holding it to the banjo. That's the one in the song now. Yeah.
But from what I found out about you guys, especially, you know, after already going through Freaks from a previous episode that we've done together and going through Liminal, not having everything be perfect, but also having the freedom to go off and try these different things and just the freedom to express where a song might be able to go seems like it might be like the hallmark of AVRALIZE, of really where your sound can really stand out throughout this whole entire process. The reason I think that is just, again, you guys aren't afraid to try these different things. You're using all your influences in different ways, but you're using your influences and you're taking them a step further. You're going beyond the scope of where maybe those influences could go of just on the surface. You're going deeper and taking the concepts and putting them into other instrumentals and other sounds. You're using other ideas to just draw these songs out in a different way. And by, again, consistently using that groove as maybe just that lifeblood of like, okay, at the core of every AVRALIZE song, there's going to be some type of groove. I don't know what it is, but if you look back at Freaks, even with it being heavier, there's still going to be some type of groove that's there. And it's going to consistently allow the song to be built up in a way that can go heavy, can go lighter, can go even, freakier, just because that consistent core, it has so many more branches to branch out into. But it also makes it you guys not afraid to try those things and to record a freaking banjo on a song. I mean, that just blows my mind that it was an actual banjo.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't fear those things. It's just like every time we're making a music session, like we all come together and just have fun making music. And we don't think like, oh, can we do that? Is that possible? Do people like this? We just make it. If it's funny for us, if we like it, if we enjoy it, we say, hopefully the people enjoy it. We enjoy it. So yeah, why not? Let's try it.
I think that's the only thing that matters, actually, because if you like doing your music for just the listener, that's I don't really get it. Maybe if you're a songwriter, I guess, okay, but for your own band projects and stuff, I think that's really good, because some people would say some of our decisions in songwriting are like brave and stuff, but we just actually do what feels good to us. So I think the whole AVRALIZE history for the past or the future is just the music we would enjoy to listen to the most if we would listen to like heavy music. So I think that makes it pretty easy, because the only thing that matters is like Do we feel good about it? Yes. Okay, let's do it.
So by the time this episode comes out, there'll be 2 episodes that come out in the weeks before it. Literally one that came out the day we record this that I did with Alex and Darius from the band Spite. And then one the following week that I did with Matt from the band Caskets. And there's something that you just brought up that perfectly encapsulates that. Because those guys had times during those interviews we were talking about how during previous albums, when they were writing songs, it felt like at times there was so much pressure on them to stay with a specific sound because of how well a certain sounded or how well a certain album did, that if they went away from it or tried something different, they would be bucking the expectations of fans and fans would not come back. So it made songwriting a lot more stressful, a lot more limited to what you could do. You guys, though, clearly have not had that in there. You guys have thrown that out the window, and you're more concerned about what sounds sound good to you, not what sound sounded good to the fans that had just came in on the last album and they're like trying to, maybe we expect you to do the same thing. If you continue to do the same thing, you're never going to grow. But you guys are not afraid to step outside of your comfort zones ever. You guys are constantly trying these different ideas. You guys are constantly trying new things. And that is why people, whenever I ask that question, name 3 bands or artists you love, you want to see more people get into, AVRALIZE consistently shows up because a lot of artists are connecting with that sound as well. They are finding inspiration in the fact that you guys are just going off and doing whatever you feel like with your music and recording it, and it's still coming through with as high a quality as it is on this.
That's so great to hear, man. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
thank you so much, man.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now, there's a specific question around Liminal that I really, really, really want to ask, because there are a good number of singles that are out there on the album, but there's a number of songs that are not singles that are going to come out on album release day. And we're going to take a look at those specifically. So, on the songs that are not released yet, that will be released on release day, which is the song you are most excited for people to hear and why?
I think I'm the most excited for Fading Faster. This song drops, I think, on release day with a music video.
Just a focus single. Yeah.
Yes, that's a focus single, because it's, again, such a funny and like different kind of vibe. It's so much influences went in this song, and I'm really, really proud of it, what we achieved with this. And I'm really excited on how the people are gonna react to this. Yeah.
I think it's the most danceable song, actually. I'd also I would love to say Fading Faster too, but I think because you said it, I have to pick another one. It's really hard. I would say also Fading Faster, actually, because it's like that song like came out of nowhere. I remember we had like this idea for the song. It was like there in 1 day or 2, maximum 2 days, and I think there's always something magical about it when you have like a song that just works. Yeah, so I'm also really excited for that song because it's danceable and like the funkiness is very well implemented in this one, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
I have to agree, it is well implemented because it does keep that upbeat feel that a lot of these other songs have throughout, even on some of the ones you guys go heavier on. But it felt like with Fading Faster, I called it an amalgamation of everything that came before it. So everything that came before it on the album, you're seeing bits and pieces of it in Fading Faster. It does have a little more of a pop element to it, but the bass, again, being the bass line being that absolute just backbone of the song, driving it forward, it allows everything to continue to flow. It allows it to have that dance feel mixing with some of those pop elements. So by everything coming together in one consistent piece with Fading Faster, I can easily see why you guys are excited for that one.
I really, really hope that this one, I really hope the people feel about it like we feel about it. Because, for example, for the song Liminal, like I can only like speak for myself. I was like kind of insecure because this one came up kind of quick and a lot of parts were like written for a long time, actually. And then we put it together and then the song was like there out of nowhere, and I had like a really hard time like feeling feeling what maybe the listener is going to feel when they are going to hear it for the first time. So I was really insecure, but now actually I'm really, really happy about the song. And also like the people are really like commenting on the chorus and stuff, which is really nice to hear, which also means we're not always right with like how we feel about songs, because maybe that is also like the point, because there are songs we feel really good about, the majority maybe won't like as much as we do. So that was kind of good experience for me, actually.
But that could be the beauty of it, where you're getting songs that you guys absolutely love, that you guys are connected with, you think are absolutely fantastic. Even if the fans don't get fully into them, those songs are specifically for you. And even if they're songs that you have a little bit trouble working through and connecting on, they could be the ones that the fans absolutely love and connect with and want to listen to more and more. Liminal was one of those songs that when I jumped into it, I thought, alrighty, this is one thing I was waiting for, to see when that heaviness is going to be at the forefront and not just be that accenting piece, but it still has that funk feel to it. The breakdown having a funky just overall flow was the way to go in my mind. So you're taking everything you guys had done on this album and said, you know what? You want to see what happens when heaviness comes back into the play and be the like the absolute like main star of the show. This is it. And this song flowed perfectly within that. I even put on there, this might be the best song on the record as I was going through the album. By the time I got to the end of the album, I immediately already scratched it off, because there was one song that I could not stop listening to throughout the whole entire runtime. I've probably listened to that song before we started recording this morning. I gotta say at least 11 or 12 times.
What? Oh, shit.
And
which one is it?
It was Like a Boomerang.
Ah, yeah. That song is crazy. Yo, it has the highest tuning we ever did. A sharp. Yeah, I really get it. I also really love that song. I really love the breakdown. It's my favorite breakdown, I think.
Honestly, this was one that just threw me off completely, and it honestly feels like a serious boomerang, because there's times where it goes way, 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 way out, and then it just comes back right at you in a way that you're not expecting. It's like a boomerang too. You're gonna want it. You're listening to the song, and it's gonna come back at you again and again. You're gonna want it to come back at you again and again. I'm looking at what I wrote down, like the drive of the song. It just digs in with the up-tempo feel, with the bass riff, mixing programming that has both the calmer cleans and aggressive uncleans over the top of it. It truly makes it a song that you can listen to at any moment in history over the past, let's say 45, 50 years, and it would fit. You play this song and you make this song back in 1985, there's going to be pieces of it that people are going to go absolutely crazy for. You put this in the 90s and people are going to be down with it. You put this in the 2000s and it's going to be like, this is different, but this is still a hell of a lot of fun. And then you go into today's day and age, and it's like everything is there. I don't understand it, but this was clearly a favorite of mine on the album. And I even wrote on there, this might be song of the year in the end for me.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much,
That's
man.
crazy.
That's really nice to hear. I'm really happy about that.
I mean, the way that I always kind of like classify like certain songs, like, is it like a song of the year candidate? Okay, if I absolutely love it, of course it's going to be up there. But when I listen to it, one, how many times do I want to go back to it right away? And do I want to keep listening to it again and again and again? This one was a little bit different, because at the beginning, it wasn't like it was something that latched onto me right away. But after I listened through the full like 3.5 minute song, I just wanted to get more and more of it again, because the build and the consistency of all the craziness that was happening in there just kept getting better and better and better as the song went on. So you got the full feel of it at the end, but you wanted to go through that journey again and again and again. You didn't want to stop. You just wanted to relive it over and over.
Yeah.
That's so great to hear, man. Thank you so much.
And the energy of the song is like really steady, which is kind of unusual for the song. But I really love that you're pointing it out like this, because the arrangement is kind of different to the songs we always do, because there's like no really clear chorus and stuff. But yeah, hearing that is really nice, because this song has actually been around for a while, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know songs for a while, you kind of get biased about them. So it makes me really happy to hear that you liked it. Yeah.
If this has been around for a while, how has this been sat on still until now? Like this, I'm kind of baffled by this. Like you guys weren't just like, we got to put this out right away. Like this has got to go out now.
That feeling sucks, man.
We wrote the liminal, I think, a few months after Freaks because we thought, hey, this was fun. Let's do it again. And also at the end of Freaks, we got like all that different kind of approach that we wanted a different sound, a different vibe and everything. And we wrote across the months. Then we went off touring with Unprocessed and went back to the record after the tour and wrote it. And so we just had a bunch of songs to pick from. Which songs do we put out as singles? Which ones do we put out on the album? And we thought it was like a single song, album song, sorry, to put it on the album. And but I'm really happy that you like it. We are really happy, and I think it's also cool to have like a bunch of cool and fresh, new, funny singles to listen on the album. Yeah.
That does make a lot of sense, and it does kind of sound like that like holdover, maybe transition from Freaks to Liminal at the same time, just because there's so much going on in here. But if you guys continue to make music and you guys continue to just, when you get to the next album, you get to the next writing session, you know, like you said, between Freaks and Liminal, you know, there's a different sound you guys wanted to try out, different sound you wanted to explore. Whatever in your minds and whatever in your hearts is saying, let's explore this, let's try this. Just go for it, because if something like this is going to be the result, this type of quality is going to be the result. When I ask that one question, AVRALIZE is not going to be popping up anymore. And it's not because people, you know, are like, oh, they're so good, you should know about them. They're not going to say your name, or because everyone will know about you guys.
The funny thing is that we're writing album 3 at the moment. Because a lot of stuff, like the whole album, we sent over to the label, like we sent it over like on July or
June
actually.
Yeah.
And then we making videos, making that stuff, we have more time, and then we just thought, yeah, why let's write something, and maybe we collect some new ideas and everything. So we are not writing explicit for the album 3.
No.
It's just like getting ideas together because it's fun. And
but that's like almost always the case. We had also for the second album, we had like so much material like flying around, and kind of organically the strongest or most authentic songs like crystallized out of all the material we had. And I think that's like the same thing for now. Yeah, of course we have to wrap the album 2 up like in a good way, and we all love the music, and it's gonna be really great playing that shit live. Actually, I'm really looking forward. I've been practicing a lot the new songs. They're harder than they sound, actually, because there's like more like dynamic stuff that is important. Yeah, but like for whatever comes in the future, I think the good thing is that we never stop writing music, and that's really good for our journey and our to see our taste like on paper. So it's really good to reflect and talk about maybe future styles we wanna get into. So yeah, I think writing songs is like the most fun thing. So why stop? Doing it.
Why stop? That's a good way to put it. But when it comes down to it, I mean, man, if you guys are getting excited about the future, we haven't even seen what you guys are working on because album 2 still has yet to come out. This is just getting scary to the point where it's just going to keep growing from this point. You've opened Pandora's box of incredible music, and it's not going to be closed anytime soon, with you guys constantly wanting to create and constantly wanting to see where your sound can go with whatever ideas you have. So just let it happen. Let it be. Keep doing what you're doing, because my God, is it working.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's really good feedback. Nice to hear, man.
Oh, you are very welcome. So, of course, album 2, Liminal, out November 14th, 2025. You got a tour in Germany coming up. I believe we already said with Accused, Villanova, and Throat Cut. But we're almost at 2026 right now. So what can we expect from AVRALIZE in 2026?
Wow. I think we don't have like specific plans that we can share currently. But as we said, I think we won't stop writing music. And like for my part, I try to do a little bit more like experimenting with like drum content and drum stuff. We also want to try some new recording techniques for the upcoming stuff, and I think that takes a lot of time to check out.
Band show wise, we are gonna play the Modern Era Fest in London for the UK people. And there are a few things in planning, but just all plans. Our focus is to wrap up the album, wrap up Liminal, have a nice release, create a lot of content, and work on Liminal and the tour. And after that, we are going to plan 26.
Well, I'm still hoping that 2026 involves some sort of tour dates over the United States. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah,
we would love to.
We'd love to.
Maybe.
Really expensive also.
It would be, I know it would be expensive, but hopefully it can happen and hopefully it works out. That's always the key that I have. Otherwise, I need to continue to save some money and get my ass over to Europe again. I've been slacking on that.
It definitely would be like worth it getting over to the US, I think, because we have a lot of listeners over there.
Yes, we would love to. I think it will happen, but we don't know when exactly. If it's gonna be 26, if it's gonna be 27, but we would love to. We would love to tour around the US. We would love to tour around everywhere. We do our best. So yeah.
Well, again, I sincerely hope it happens, guys. I really do, because I really want to see you guys play live. And before we wrap up this episode, I got that one last question for you guys. Many people have said your name, and now it's your turn to do the same. So I'm going to ask for a total of 3, because otherwise we're going to be here the entire night or entire day. But can you guys name me 3 bands or artists that you love, that you would love to see more people get into right now?
Oh, wow. Okay. Let me think for a second.
I can start.
Yeah.
I think one band for me, it's like Half Me. It's friends here from Germany. They make just so good music. I love it. It's like very hard and very aggressive, but in such a unique and such a inspiring way. It's just like it's so cool. There are so many influences in those songs, and I'm a really big fan of Me, and I think they deserve more people to listen to them.
I'm still thinking. This is like 3 bands per person?
No, just 3 bands total between the 2 of you. So I only need 3 overall.
Okay. I think Alt from Sweden. Actually, I really love their stuff. I'm like actually most of the time I'm not like the biggest fan of those like fall productions with like insanely huge drums and stuff, but I think the songwriting in combination with their production like suits very well for me. I really love how the current album is sounding.
Yeah. And I think one last band, I'm sorry, I have to say 2, otherwise it would be I think Villanova and Accused, of course, them both, because they are great friends to us. We love those guys. Really great dudes. Unbelievable music from Accused, from Villanova. They're just awesome people, awesome music, and they guys deserve the best. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Couldn't agree more. I also say Accused and Villanova.
I'll say, guys, to ask for 3, you snuck in a 4th one in there, but
Sorry,
of course.
man.
But I will say this though: if you guys weren't I don't think were the most popular pick this year for that question. You guys were second. The most popular pick was one you said, which was Villanova.
Yeah.
Everyone's been saying Villanova when I asked
like
that question.
Most insane shit like the century. Holy shit, this album was insane.
Yeah, so just get ready because it's going to be one hell of a fun tour. You guys go with them right after the album releases. So just everyone go out and see if you can. But guys, I want to thank you for taking the time for joining me today. We're going to wrap this up with 3 things. First things first, when it comes to AVRALIZE, Liminal comes out on November 14th. They will be in Germany while playing live with Accused, Throat Cut, and of course, Villanova. If you can get tickets, go get them and go see them play live. Otherwise, just wait till 2026. We got more stuff coming for you there. Go to the script for the podcast where it says find AVRALIZE online, link symbols for everything so you can stay connected with them, listen to the brand new album, go get some merch, go support them, and find a show near you. So go and do that. It's all down there for you. Now it's time for number 2. Last time you guys to the podcast, I said when I see you perform live for the first time, I will find you guys, and my promise was first round's on me. Well, second time on the podcast, I haven't seen you perform live yet. I'm just going to add another one on there.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You have to.
I'm just going to keep adding them up until I pay up. I'm not in any credit card debt, but I am in first rounds on me debt very badly right now.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward, man.
Oh,
hopefully next year. Hopefully next year.
Let's hope for 2026. We'll put it that way.
Yeah,
now it's time for number 3. I cannot end this episode by saying goodbye. That is way too final. Second time I'm having you guys on the podcast. I want to make it more times. And of course, I got to make good on that promise. I know we're at 2 right now, but maybe I can get that number down by 2026 or before the next time I see you guys play a lot or see you guys here on the podcast. So goodbye is way too final. I'm going to end it by saying, I'll see you later.
Yeah, man. Bye-bye.
Woo! Well, folks, my interview with Phillipp and Bastian from the band AVRALIZE. Now it's time for Kevin's final thought. First off, an excavator that ruined their internet could not stop us. Thankfully, they had a hotspot rolling so we could get that working, and it worked out just fine. So that's why you saw the change in like overall, like their background, even though it was the same background, just a different camera angle. But what I want to talk about is the fact that, in metalcore, especially today, in modern metalcore, everyone's putting a lot of the stuff that's in the heaviest, and we're seeing a lot more of an eclectic sound too. We see what happened with Bring Me the Horizon all the time, Sleep Token, Bad Omens, Electric Callboy. We talk about this with Villanova. We've seen this with Casket starting to do a little bit more of this as well. We saw Spite talk about this, and we're seeing it happen here with AVRALIZE, but I think with AVRALIZE, we are getting it in much more of a grander scope because of what they do with their music. Because what AVRALIZE did on a lot of these songs was they made the backbone, the spine of the song, the bass funk groove that just kept going through this. And when you do that, because the bass is a heavier sound, because the groove and the funk brings forth more of that playful rhythm, they're able to go with different, upbeat tempos or to go in different, more happier paces that get you more energized. They roll with a lot of this. They go with a lot of this. And I'm really, really happy about it overall as well. Do not get me wrong. The other thing that really gets me going when it comes to AVRALIZE specifically is just the fact that when they went heavy on a song like the titular Liminal, they went absolutely bonkers with it and it connected, but it was still a lot of fun. Like a Boomerang might be Song of the Year because it could fit in any era since the 1980s and it would absolutely work. What AVRALIZE is doing is really showing that in heavy music, the heavy portions of the guitar, the heavy portions of the drumming, and the heavy unclean vocals do not have to be the absolute backbone. They can be other parts of it, and they can be just as much fun. I want to thank the boys for coming to the podcast today. When it comes to AVRALIZE, go to the description of the podcast. Well, link symbols for everything for them are going to be down there, so you can follow along with them, listen to Liminal when it comes out, and go see them play live. Please also follow us in the Chord Progression Podcast. Links and labels are in the description of the podcast below, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is right down here. If you are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, hit that subscribe and follow button. Hit the like button on these episodes as well to help push us in the album, get more people to know about us and AVRALIZE as well. Thank you, everybody. That's giving me a thank you for listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. I'm Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one. That's the big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah!